I'm Sydney Fisher, best-selling author and your host of Studio Muse. Today's breaking news is Sugaree's in downtown New Albany. We're going to be talking to the owner, Jennifer, about what her inspiration is, how she got started, and what goes into a day's work preparing for customers at the bakery here. So come on in and join me inside. Hey, it is so nice to see you today, Jennifer, and you are the owner of Sugaree. So tell me a little bit about Sugaree's, the building. Do you know how old it is?
I do know. What I know about the building is that the Gray Drugstore was here for about 50 years. When they had a soda fountain here against this wall. And I know a lot of the old timers around here remember coming and sitting at the soda fountain when they were children.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful. So, that is really neat that it used to be a soda fountain. And so how appropriate for it to become a bakery now. So tell me, how long has Sugaree's been in business?
We've been in business since '97. The first 4 years were in my home. And we've been in this building since 2001.
So since 1997, and then 2001, you've been in this building. Well, we're really excited about being here. And when I come to New Albany, I love to visit Sugaree's. I almost can't ever, bypass this store whenever I'm driving down Main Street. I just have this pull to pull in here and come in and get a cupcake, and my favorite is the Ding Dong cupcake.
Ah, you're in luck. We made those today.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. So before I leave, I will be leaving with a box of cupcakes. But we're really excited about getting to see what goes into a day's work. Can you tell me a little bit about what was your inspiration for starting a bakery back in 1997 when you first, started doing this out of your home? What inspired you to do this?
Well, I was unemployed. I got fired from my first real job after college. I was doing outside sales and had a lead foot. And so I had too many speeding tickets.
Wow.
Right? And I got fired, so I ended up being out of work for over a year, just doing really odd, random jobs, trying to get back into that field.
Yep.
And I landed on this. I started baking and catering for other drug reps during that period. And then it just kind of took off, the baking. I stuck with the baking.
I think that is absolutely wonderful. So, a strange twist of fate in your life put you actually in the path of where that you have been most fruitful and definitely have created something that the people of New Albany and all surrounding areas, people who visit here, enjoy the wonderful taste. And so we are going to get to go behind the scenes and kind of see what goes into this. Tell me one more thing. Do you have you always had kind of your own recipes, or do you look for different things how to create or a particular cupcake or design or something like that?
So my mother was always a fantastic baker, and when I started the business in my home, I feel like I started with almost all of her recipes. There were a couple that were given to me by other people, but mostly I started with my mom's recipes. And over the years, we've added to and changed and found new recipes and developed our own. And actually every Tuesday right now for the past several years, we do Test Kitchen Tuesday, and we come up with a new product every week. Then some of those end up becoming regular items.
That is a lot of fun. Every Tuesday is Test Tuesday. That's fascinating. Well, I tell you what, if we're ready to go in the back,
right.
So if you will kind of lead the way, we will head that way.
All right, follow me. I'll show you behind the scenes.
Ooh.
So this is our kitchen. It's a lot larger than the retail space, as you can see. Most people don't expect to walk into this large kitchen. And most bakeries actually and restaurants have like little tiny broom closet sized kitchens.
Right.
So I'm really proud of this space. It gives us the room to spread out and work and do what we need to do, which is make about 1,000 cakes a week.
Oh my goodness. This is a major production. I mean, I'm watching and looking at this, and there's several people that go into a day's work here. It's just incredible. And it smells so good. Oh my gosh. This is like, I don't know how in the world I would eat up my profit, literally. But it is so incredible. So maybe you can take us here and tell us like what she's doing here at this machine.
Sure. So we work like a factory, basically. We have a baking line, we have an icing line. We set up other lines at other times of the day or the week and work very much like a factory line. So on the bake line right now, we have 4 people baking strawberry cake layers. I'll show you what everybody's doing. Okay. This is Jaleesa. She's running the mixers today. Jaleesa's making strawberry cake batter. And then we pass the batter to Miss Brenda, who deposits the batter into the pans with this wonderful machine that pre-measures and pre-weighs each deposit. Very nice. We all had carpal tunnel before we got these machines that help us measure and weigh, 3,000 cake layers a week.
Oh my goodness.
So that takes a lot of pressure off of our hands. So Brooke is covering the layers as they come out of the oven, and Mindy's pulling the cake layers out of the oven. So I introduced them a little bit backwards, but this is the bake line and how it works every day. We start the bake line at 6 a.m. every day, and it runs till 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock some days.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That is incredible. That is just amazing. So that's where all the goodness comes from, folks, right here, and you're seeing it in action. So tell me what happens on the opposite side of the room.
Sure. Normally we are right here icing cakes, but the coconut icing is a cooked icing. So we have to move the icing line to the back near the ovens on Thursdays when we ice coconut cakes. So I can take you back there and show you what's happening.
Oh my God, look at those cakes. Look how beautiful they look. Oh my word. Oh, you gotta get.
Look! You see the steam coming off?
Yes.
So Sam is making our coconut icing. It's an old-fashioned cooked icing. Starts with the sugar water and egg water.
Oh my gosh.
And then we add vanilla and marshmallows to help stabilize it and give it flavor. I don't like the lack of flavor in a traditional 7-minute icing. It's just a sugar flavor, which is kind of flavorless. It's just sweet. So we add marshmallows to give it depth of flavor. So.
It sounds good.
I mean, that just absolutely looks like heaven to me. I mean, I could just get a room here.
Eat it with a spoon. I'll bring you a spoon in a minute.
Oh my God.
It's like with the Albany Willy Wonka.
And I absolutely love coconut cake and chocolate. And watch her icing this cake. How beautiful.
So Chava and Andrea are icing the coconut cakes today, and Alicia's putting the coconut on and wrapping the cakes. So that's the coconut line. It's a 4-person line, and we do this every Thursday right now.
Oh my goodness. So which cake sells the best for Sugaree's?
Well, the caramel cake has always been the best seller, and to the point that we're at capacity making as many as we can make. So we've had to cut out certain customers. We're not really selling. We quit selling caramel cakes at a wholesale price point. So we just cut out some of our distributors and wholesale customers from being able to get the caramel cakes recently because we can only make so many. And we're selling them here in the store and online at our website. We do ship all the cakes every day. We have a mail order line at our warehouse where we ship cakes out all over the country.
So they're selling as fast as you can make them.
Pretty much, yeah. The challenge, honestly, at this point is keeping up with the demand, and
oh my goodness.
to the point that we're cutting some customers, the lower price tiered customers, so that we can keep up with demand in this space without expanding. And
Right. Oh my goodness. So of the cupcakes, you've got several different flavors that are in the cabinets up front. What's your best seller?
The best seller now is the sampler pack. It's 2 of each flavor. Since we introduced that a few years ago, it's steadily grown to be the most popular dozen pack of cupcakes that we sell. Just so far as individual cupcakes, I think the strawberry cupcake may be the best seller, but the red velvet is the staff favorite.
Okay. Yeah, one of my favorites is the Ding Dong cupcake. I mentioned that earlier. But I used to always love the Hostess King Dongs, that you would buy at the grocery store. These coconut cakes I've got my eye on just to my right, and they are absolutely beautiful. We're standing here in front of the caramel cakes that are so popular here, and I want to ask you, we can get a shot of these caramel cakes. How many are you selling a week, do you think, online and in the store?
So our demand peaks around Christmas, of course. So November and December are our biggest months. So part of the year from Easter till Christmas, we focus on building our inventory so that we can get ready for that demand. So we kind of make a steady number every week.
For a typical week, and you were talking about, what you do to prepare for the Christmas season and that kind of thing. Once, I believe you said about 1,000, or when did I hear you say about 1,000 cakes a week?
That's right. We try to make about 1,000 cakes a week to keep up with the demand throughout the year. So we do stockpile in the freezer, and then, sales peak at certain holidays throughout the year. But the maximum capacity for caramel cakes is 40 to 50 a day. That's as many as we can make with 2 different shifts back here in this station.
It's absolutely incredible. Can you imagine making that many cakes a day? And you had mentioned that you started out in your home. Back in 1997, maybe you're doing this in your home kitchen. So were you just mainly doing for the public and that kind of thing, just taking orders?
So I started with $200 and a trip to Sam's Club. Literally, that was the start of the business. I bought ingredients. I think my mom either loaned me or gave me a KitchenAid mixer, and I just made samples and took those samples and little price lists that I hand wrote with a calligraphy pen and a book from the library to learn how to write calligraphy. I took samples and a price list around to all the local businesses that had break rooms, so like the banks, the schools, and those kind of larger businesses, and started that way. And I also was catering and baking for the drug reps who I had met while I was doing that job. And then about a year in, I got my first wholesale account, and they ordered 12 cakes at a time, and that was kind of a light bulb moment where I thought if I can get more accounts like this, I'll take all those to a distributor, let the distributor handle the logistics, and start over. And so that's what I did. I found more accounts, started working with a specialty food distributor out of Memphis who took over all those accounts, and I would sell him 100 cakes at a time. And we just built the business that way to the point we were working with 6 distributors at one point. But now that mail order has taken off, I'm more interested in growing the mail order side of the business, and we're dropping off some of those distributors slowly, so as we transition out of wholesale and into more mail order.
That is amazing. Well, listen, all I can say is congratulations on what an amazing business. It's so delicious. I can't imagine not seeing Sugarees when I come to New Albany, Mississippi. It has become a fixture in downtown New Albany. Wouldn't you agree at this point?
Sure. I feel like we're definitely a regional tourism draw, and we spend a lot of effort working events and creating events for the community that kind of make that happen. We want to draw people to New Albany to make a stronger economy here. For such a small town, I think we've got a really strong downtown for rural Mississippi.
I do too. I think it's wonderful. I think New Albany is a beautiful place. I love the downtown area. This is an incredible accomplishment for you. My hat's off to you for the dedication that it took to get a business like this going, and for what you do bring to the community, and for people like myself that live out of town and that come here and can't leave here without stopping and getting something from the front lobby. Do want to ask you, as far as decorating any particular type of cupcakes. There's a creative muse that has to come into your mind, maybe whispers in your ear at certain times. some particular decoration that you may do on cupcakes, or do you get orders or do you get requests for decorating? Have you ever done weddings or anything like that? So tell me about that.
Sure. The business is, you know, we've tried all kinds of things over the years and abandoned a lot of things.
Yep.
And, so we have done some decorating in the past. I remember trying to do a wedding cake for my husband's cousin one time, and it fell over right before they picked it up. It was horrible. So we don't decorate anything really. We do some decorated sugar cookies for the case on Fridays and Saturdays, and they're primarily like little Grateful Dead Dancing Bear sugar cookies, just a nod to our namesake, which comes from a Grateful Dead song. So that's really the only decorating we do.
It's Tuesday Test Day, where you come up maybe with a new recipe or something new that you're going to have. So that's very interesting. That is fantastic. Look at all of these ovens. This is amazing with all of these different ovens. So there are cakes in every single door.
There probably are right now. We load an oven about every 5 minutes while the bake line is running.
Oh my goodness. And then once the cakes come out and they're through cooking, do they move then over to the other side where they're iced?
And somewhat we ice caramel cakes fresh the same day, but the other cakes are in batches of 200 or 300 cakes, so 500 or 600 layers a day. So we rack them and let them cool overnight, and then we ice them the next day. But everything's iced same day or next day. We don't freeze the layers before we ice them. They're fresh. Then as soon as we ice them, we wrap them and put them in the freezer. So where they're good for 6 months to a year, depending on the flavor.
Thank you, Mary Jennifer, for sharing the sweet life with us where your dreams came true at Sugaree's Bakery in downtown New Albany. From caramel cakes, chocolate truffles, or ding-dong cupcakes, you're guaranteed to satisfy your sweet tooth at 110 West Bankhead Street in New Albany. Keep following your dreams, and thank you for watching Hill Country Network.